Hello, White Plains Wildcats. I'm here to give you guys a little bit of information about some safety procedures in the building as we approach this new school year. As you can see, this is the front of our building that we operate in every single day. So you should be familiar with this, especially if you have been inside the building for any number of years. I know this will be new information for our fifth graders. But the movement inside of our building, when we are changing from class to class, you will always be walking on the right side of the building, just like you do with streets in the United States. Um, Traffic always flows on the right, so we do the same thing in the hallways. And that allows for traffic to flow smoothly both ways. That happens during class changes. It happens if you're in the hallway by yourself. It also happens if you were in the process of having to exit the building in the event of an emergency. Just getting used to walking on the right side always makes that process easy and smooth. You should also notice that we do have grade level wings that exist inside the building. The fifth grade has their own wing, sixth grade has their own, seventh grade and eighth grade, so on and so forth. So all four grade levels that are represented in the school building have their own grade level wings. And the movement within your grade level is restricted strictly to that wing, with the exception of seventh and eighth grade. It's because we do share some teachers with seventh and eighth grade, and there's some classes that require that we have mixed grade level groups of students in there. At all times, you have adult supervision that exists inside the building. You're going to have adults that are in the hallways during class transitions. You have adults that are in the hallway during any kind of special event. If you have an emergency situation, we've got adults that are supervising and kind of guiding people as to where they need to go. We also have a series of closed circuit cameras that exist within the building that in the event that, let's say you go to the restroom during class, you can feel safe knowing that there are cameras that are constantly monitoring everything that's taking place inside the building. When you enter the building, this is more so for parents or visitors or those kind of things. When someone enters the building and it's not the start of the school day or the end of the school day, all visitors have to go through the main entrance. And that door you can see there in the image with our White Plains Wildcats graffiti there on the ground. All visitors have to go through that main door. And once you enter through that door, there's a locked set of doors that require that you to be buzzed into the office. You have to let whoever is working the main office, whether it be Miss Macari that's operating as a secretary, or it could be Miss Harris that's sitting there, or in the event we have a substitute, they are all made aware that any visitor has to buzz into that main office. And once you get through that second set of doors, the main office is immediately there. So you can't really get into the building without knowing or without checking in first with the people at the main office. And once a visitor does come in, unless they've got business that exists somewhere in the building, like a guest speaker or even if the superintendent comes, they check in the main office. If it's a parent that's there to check somebody out, they don't go past the main office because we want to make sure that everybody is safe inside that building. Now, you will notice that the teachers do have keys to some of the exterior doors, and that is strictly so that we can make sure that they can get in and out quickly. So let's say we have an evacuation drill of some kind, and we realize during that drill, we got to get back in the building quickly. And instead of everybody having to funnel through that main front door again, the teachers have keys to those exterior doors so that we can get in the building very rapidly and we can get you guys locked and safe. So in the event of an emergency, let's say that we're inside the school building and something happens that requires that we take an immediate action. You should feel safe knowing that every classroom door is locked at all times. The doors may remain propped open, but they are locked so that in the event we have, let's hope it doesn't happen, but let's say we have an intruder in the building. All the teachers have to do is shut those doors and you're locked in those classrooms safely. We are operating with regular safety drills. We will have at least one drill per month in the building. That could be a fire drill. It could be a severe weather drill. It could be an intruder drill. You'll notice that we have signals that go off inside the building that notify the teachers as to what the actual operation is, and then the teachers will react based on what those signals are. We also have emergency radios that are located on all the hallways. There are 2 teachers per hallway that keep those emergency radios, and they're tuned in at all times. The principal, assistant principal, both janitors, and the school resource officer all have those on their body at all times. And then again, those 2 teachers per hallway have those tuned in and ready to go so that we can communicate quickly. Let's just say in the event that the phone lines are down and we have to communicate. That gives another means of communication. We do have a school resource officer that stays on the campus. That resource officer is patrolling hallways. They are walking around the perimeter of the building, making sure that everything is safe and good to go so that we can be safe in our classrooms. I mean, our priority there is to make sure that you guys as students are getting the education that you deserve. And all of these things put together help to ensure that we can do that for you. We also notice we have color-coded hallways. You may or may not have looked down in the hallway, but there are tile on the floor that indicate the hallway colors. So we have a red hall, we have a blue hall, we have a green hall, we have a purple hall. And on those doors, those exterior doors, if the police has to respond to something inside the building quickly, we can notify them with the color of that hallway. And that gives them a much faster response time instead of trying to figure out which of the hallways is the 5th grade. We can tell them immediately, hey, that's the green hall. So when you see the green tile, you know you're at the right door. We also have a pretty heavy focus here at White Plains Middle about mental health. We have a sensory room that we have in the event you just feel like you're a little overwhelmed. Just come on in. It's right outside the assistant principal's office. And we have some really smooth lighting that's there. We have some really calming music that's taking place. We also have a mental health counselor on campus. And if you're looking in the big picture of the background there, right there in the center with the blonde hair, with the glasses, that is Miss Young. She is our mental health counselor on campus. So if you feel like you need somebody, feel free. Go talk to Miss Young. She'll be glad to help you out with whatever need that you do have. And we're glad to have you here at White Plains Middle School. We're here to make sure that you guys know that we're here for you and that we care for you and that we're going to make sure that we keep this building as safe as we can so that you guys have the opportunity to learn at all times. And just remember that at White Plains Middle School, we work hard, we play fair, and we make a difference.